Good morning, everyone. If you have followed me on my Rubik's Cube journey, we have done all the way to the end, but, I have also said that, I was going to make the difficult parts on separate videos. Okay, so here's the Rubik Cube. Okay, so basically, what we are trying to do today is this. Okay, now when you come to a place like you have done your yellow cross, okay, and then you have done your white cross, and then the full background, and then the first layer, the second layer, and then when you come to the third layer, these corners are going to give you a headache, and it's going to be difficult for you to you might even give up at that point. So I just want to show you. Okay, I just want to show you how that could be done. Okay, so okay, let's begin. Okay, so we always have the yellow on the top, right? So we always have the yellow on the top, and we're just gonna we're gonna make the daisy, which is gonna be the yellow, white, white, white. Okay, white cross with the yellow. Yellow in the center. Okay, so we're going to do that, right? So you're just going back and looking at you see this one here. Okay, so you can bring that up. Okay, so we just formed that, and then here you have this one here. You can bring that this way and bring it up. Okay, and then we have another white one at the bottom there. So we're going to bring it to here. So we're going to bring it there and bring that there. So now we have 3 white ones, okay? And then we're going to go to this one here at the bottom, okay, and bring it here. Okay, so the way we're going to do that, we'll turn it up this way, go this way, go that way. So we have the daisy. But remember, if you had followed me, I don't like to have, I just like to see the daisy. So I'm just going to move this away. So you would go down that way, move it away, and then you don't have that now. So you're going to move this away too. Okay, so this is my way, and it is less complicating this way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring that down, move it this way, move it up. So I have my daisy. Okay, so now the white is at the bottom. Remember, when we always start with the yellow on the top, white is at the bottom. Okay, so these are basic things. I keep repeating because a lot of times when we get carried away, we are just moving things around without keeping the focus there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to bring these whites to the bottom and make a white cross. Okay, so the way you're going to do that is this. Okay, this is orange, so we're going to bring it to the orange side, and we're going to do 1, and we're going to do 2. So we have 1, right? So this one here is red and white, so we're going to bring the red to the red side, and we're going to do 1, and we're going to do 2. Okay, so here you have the blue and the white, so we're going to bring the white here. So the way we're going to do that is the blue to the blue side. It's blue, okay, and then we're going to do 1, and we're going to do 2. Okay, so now the last one is the green with the white. So we're going to bring that to here. Okay, so the way we're going to do that is we are going to bring the green to the green. Okay, and then we're going to do 1 and 2. So now we have the white cross. Okay, so now what we need to do is, you have to make all of this white. Okay, so when we do all of this white, you see this first layer will become to its corresponding color. So like this is the blue center, this is the blue face. So all of this is going to be blue. So as we do the white, full white, we are also making the first layer. Okay, so if you had followed me in the past, you would know that. Okay, so now we have to bring this white to the bottom. Okay, so the way it's going to go is, okay, so now if you look at, this is green and this is white, that's red. Okay, so we have to bring that to the green side. Okay, this is the green side. Okay, so what we are doing is that, look, you're going to move this away because you're going to bring it here, right? You're going to bring it, move that away. You're going to bring the top, bottom up, and then we're going to bring that. So we align that, and we're going to bring it down. So we have covered one, right? So now we have, okay, the yellow on the top, white at the bottom. Okay, so now we have another white, but the other side is red. So we are going to go towards red. So this is the red side. So we went to the red side, okay? So now we are going to do the same thing because it's on this side, right? It's on the right-hand side, okay? Top right-hand side. So we're going to move away. We're going to bring this up, and we're going to return back. So we have all the lines, and we never. So now we have done that, right? So we have another white here. Okay, so that is the orange color, right? So we're going to bring it to the orange. Then we're going to trace the white. We're going to move it away, bring the top, bring the bottom to the top, and we're going to align the white, and we're going to bring it back. So we just have one more to go. So now this one, okay, if you look at the yellow is on the top, white is at the bottom, right? So this one is at the bottom. Remember, earlier on it was on the top, which was easier. We just moved it this way or that way, and then, you know, we would just, but this one is a little bit complicated, right? So there we are. Okay, so we're going to bring that away, move it out, and bring it back. Okay, in doing that, we still have our yellow on the top, but we brought the white here, remember. So now this is on the blue side, so you're going to, you know, come to the white, move it away, bring that back, bring it out, and bring it down. So now remember what I said, we have the white completed, but we also have completed the bottom one. In the method that I showed you, we just did two things in one. Okay, so we did the bottom full, and we also did the first layer. Okay, now we're going to go and do the second layer. To do the second layer, if you remember, okay, we have to look for sides that don't have yellow. So this doesn't have yellow. Like if you look at this one, this says yellow and blue, right? This, okay, if you look at this one, this is green and orange, so it doesn't have yellow. Okay, this one has red and green and red. So we can work with these ones without the yellow. Okay, so now this one here, okay, we're going to work with this one. So this would go here. This is a centerpiece, it'll go here. Okay, the red would come this, the red will come here, and the green will go there. Okay, so in order for us to do that, is that we're going to go away from the green, we're going to bring this up, bring it back up, and then go back. Okay, so so what have we done? Okay, what have we done? Okay, but in doing that, okay, in doing what we did, okay, we just messed up our white bottom. So, but if you look at it, it's right there. Okay, so if you bring that up this way, up here, bring it back up, and guess what? This is what we were doing. We were just bringing the red and the green, so we did that. But in doing that, remember, we've messed up the white, but the white is easy. We have learned that in the previous step. Okay, so the next one we're going to look for. Okay, so this one doesn't have yellow. Okay, so we can work with that. But this would go, okay, if you look at it, okay, this would go here and red. So in order for us to do that, we are just going to bring it to the red side. Okay, so now remember, we are going to put this one, the blue would go here, the red would come there, right? So this one has to come here. So in order for us to do that, since we are bringing it here, we got to go away. You're going to go away from it. Okay, so we're going to go away, Okay, we're going to come back up. I'm going to bring this up and then bring back the white. But in doing that, our white got messed up, but the white is right there. So we are going to go away. Okay, we're going to bring that up, bring it back up, and boom. Now that we have the white, and we also achieved the red and the blue. We achieved that too. Okay, so now we still have, okay, now this piece has yellow, we cannot work with that. This piece has yellow, we cannot work with that. This one is green, orange, so we can actually work with that. So if you remember, okay, we have to go to the orange side. We're going to go to the orange side. Okay, so now what we are trying to do is we're going to bring this orange here, and the green, we're going to bring it there. Okay, it's clear, right? So in order for us to do, so we have to bring it here, so which means we have to go away. So we are going away from there. Okay, we're going to bring this up. We're going to bring it back up, and we're going to bring the white down. Okay, but remember, so you know, now in that process, we messed up the white. But if you look at it, the white is right there. So we're going to go away. I'm going to bring that up. And boom. So which means we did, remember, this is the part. Okay, the orange and the green. Okay, so we did that. So now we are looking for another piece, okay, without yellow. This is yellow, this is yellow, 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 yellow. So we're going to look at this one. We are looking for the middle pieces without yellow. Okay, that's what we're looking for. So now this is orange and this is blue. So which means this one needs to go to the orange. The orange needs to go to the orange side, and then the blue needs to come here. Okay, so in order to bring it to this side, we got to go away. Okay, and then we are just going to bring that up. We're going to move to the right place, and then we're going to bring that back up. Okay, so when you do that, we messed up that. If you look at the white, it's right there. So the blue is on this side, so we're going to go away from the blue. We're going to bring the top, bottom up, and then bring that down here, and then so now if you look, what did we do? We finished our white, we finished our first layer, we finished our second layer. Okay, so now the part that we are trying to work here is this, okay? The part that we are trying to work here is after the next step. So, you know, I just want you to follow, okay? So now we have to make the yellow cross. Okay, so we have done the first two layers. Now we got to work with this set. Okay, this entire set we got to work with, right? Okay, so in order to do that, you know, we got to make a yellow cross. Okay, the way we are going to do that is this. Okay, we are going to bring the, okay, we're going to keep it, we're going to keep the, okay, the yellow is like a 9, right? So we're going to keep it this way, okay, as a 9. But or else you're going to keep, if you have the center line, if it is one of the centers, then you're going to keep it horizontal, okay, the yellow. Okay, so we're going to now work, okay, we're going to work the red cross. Okay, the way we're going to do that is we're going to bring the front out this way. We're going to bring the right to the top. Okay, and we're going to bring the top this way. Okay, and then we're going to bring the right to the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to bring the top this way. Okay, and then we are also going to bring the front, front that way. Okay, so we have, okay, so if you look at this, okay, we made a straight line by doing that, okay, horizontal line, and then we still have our white intact, the first and the second layer is intact, okay. I'm sorry guys, my pump came on, so there'll be a little bit of noise. Okay, so now, you know, we're going to continue. Okay, now the yellow cross, right? Yellow cross. To make the yellow cross, you have the formula, you have the printout that I gave you from the previous videos, okay? So we are going to continue to do the same one up until we get our yellow cross, okay? So we are going to do this, okay? Front this way. We're going to turn the front to the right and right to the top. Okay, and then we're going to do the top to left, and then we're going to bring the right back down, and then we're going to bring the top this way, and then we're going to bring the front this way. So in doing that, look what we got. We got the white cross. I'm sorry, the yellow cross. Okay. So now the next steps the next step is what we are trying to achieve here. But now this one here, okay, look. If you look at it this way, right? You know, you have, okay, the next step, the next step that we're going to do is we're going to make the corresponding senders align, just like that. You see how the red, see how the green, okay? Now, if you look at this one, the orange is not together, and then the blue is not together, right? So in other words, we can turn it this way and make it correct, but then, you know, we messed up the orange. So or we messed up the other colors. So for instance, we go back to the orange, and you know, we have to correct this, we have to correct that, and correct that. But remember, in the previous method, right, if you had the red, we also had the green together. So what we're going to do here is, you know, to correct this side and this side, the center, right? What we're going to do is, you know, we're going to follow the method, okay, corresponding centers, and you also have the printout for that. Okay, so we're going to do that. In order to do that, okay, this is a good side, and this is a good one. So we're going to keep it to our left, to the back, okay, and we're going to follow these steps. Okay, so remember, now in any of these procedures, we still have to maintain the white. Yellow has to be on the top. Okay, in this case, the first and the second layer is done. So we have to follow that, okay, all the time. So now we are trying to fix the center here and here, okay? So it is the same printout, okay, the corresponding center one. Okay, you're going to do it till you have completed the process, okay? So we're going to go top to the left, right, this way, okay, and then we're going to go top this way, right, and we're going to go right this way, okay, and then we're going to go top this way, okay, right, that way, okay, and then we're going to go top this way, top again, okay, and then the right, which is clear, the white needs to go to the bottom. So if you look at now if you look at after that process, right? We have the red, we have the green, orange, we also have the blue. Okay, so that was the next step. And if you remember, okay, look, the white is intact, the first and the second layer is intact, and also that's intact. Okay? So now comes the part where this video is for. Okay, so I want you to, you know, now this is where you will either give up, okay, or you will struggle, or you will get it. But once you get this part and the next part, okay, so the next part will be another video. Okay, once you get this corners corrected, okay, then you know you are heading to the last step, which is very easy, and you have the printouts for all of these things. Okay, so now in order for us to do, okay, we have to look at the good corner. When I say the good corner, look, this is green needs to be here, red needs to be somewhere else, so this is not the good corner, right? If you look at this one, okay, the orange needs to be here, yellow needs to be on the top, green needs to be there, but green is here, so that's not a good one. Okay, but if you look at this one here, okay, if you look at this one here, this is in the right place, but in the wrong order, right? Yellow needs to be on the top, red needs to be here, and the blue. So you're going to keep that corner to your right, to the front, okay, and you're going to follow these steps. Okay, you have the printout for these things. Okay, so you're going to do the top to the left, right to the top, okay, top to the clockwise, right? And then the left, this time, you're going to go up that way, okay? And you're going to go top this way, and you're going to go right to the bottom, okay? And you're going to go top this way. And then if we see the white needs to go to the bottom, it will go. Okay? So now you're going to look which one did you correct. Okay? So we still have the same situation. Okay, we still have the same situation where things are in the wrong order. But this is still correct. Okay, so we're going to do that procedure again up until we get corrected these corners in the right corners but in the wrong order. Okay, so we're going to go to the top this way, we're going to go right that way, we're going to go left, and then we're going to go left, up, okay, top this way, right down, okay, top this way, and then left down. Okay, now if you look, we corrected this one, okay, it is in the right place. This one, to an extent, is in the right place, okay. This one is in the right place, but in the wrong order. Okay, so we are in a very good situation because look, this is even in the right side, in the right order, if you look at this one, right? But this one is in the right corner, but in the wrong order. This one in the right corner, but in the wrong order. Same thing here. So what we're going to do this time is, now you're going to bring the one that's not correct. Okay, that's not correct. This is in the right place, but in the wrong order. So we're going to keep that one. We're going to work that one, right? So that's going to be on your right-hand side, top right-hand side. Okay, so you're going to follow this one, this one. You're going to go down, you're going to go bottom this way, you're going to go right up and bring back the bottom. Okay, and then, okay, it is still not corrected, so we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to go right this way, bottom that way, right up, and bottom this way. Okay, so basically we have corrected that. Okay, so now we're going to bring the uncorrected one to the front. Okay, so we're going to go right, bottom, right up, bottom this way. Okay, so we still haven't corrected that. Okay, so we're going to go once again, same thing, bottom, okay, right up, and bottom this way. So if you look at it, you have corrected that one. Okay, so now we're going to turn the one that's not corrected, which is this one. So we're going to go right, bottom this way, right up, and bottom that way. They still haven't corrected it, right? So we're going to go right, bottom this way, okay, right up, okay. Now remember, we still have two more moves in that set, but if you look at what happened here, look what happened here. Everything is in order. Everything is in order. All what you need to do at this point is that, here's the red, you got to bring it to the red side, okay? And then the green to the red side, okay? And then voila, you have done your cube. So you see, okay, the last two parts, okay, like the corresponding corners and correcting the corners, okay? What I want you to focus on this set here is that corresponding corners and correcting the corners, okay? So congratulations, if you went this far, you have completed your cube.